Hey yo, been 6 months, so probably about time I did another beat video. I had a few people asking to do a 202, 303 combination thing, so I think I'm going to do that. I'll try not to use the PC at all, maybe a little bit just to speed things up, but we'll do everything in the 202 and then sequence it all in the 303, maybe playing over the top of the 202 as well. So let's get into it. Cool. So the first thing we want to do is run a sample into the 202. It's pretty basic, and it can be quite fiddly. So I find the best thing to do is to run your sample in the background, have it all geared up, ready to record, so like that. And then as soon as I press that button, it'll start recording. So you play your sample, wait for the bit to come on that you like. To speed things up, I've already got a bunch of chops on the computer ready, so I'm just gonna record those into here. It's taking a long time to delete. Oh, because I haven't told it to delete. Yeah, so I'm gonna record those into here. Do them on standard mode, so it goes nice and gritty, mono, and then one shot, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can change all that stuff afterwards. So pad 1, record 1, and you've got it set up so that as soon as noise comes in. You got your sample. So we do that for all the samples until we built up 8 pads, I guess is probably sensible. So I got my chops. I'm going to set them all to gate so that when you push them, they come on for as long as you hold them down. That way you can, without them overlapping each other. Cool. So they're all in there. They're all on standard, all on mono, and now they're all on gate. One shot or loop doesn't really matter unless you want to sort of loop them over and over. And the cool thing here on the 202 that I always like to do is mess around with the pitch. The pitch is universal on the 202, so when you change it, it changes all the sounds. So there's 8 chops there, something to work with. So we'll do some drums, and we'll do those on the 303, and then we'll play them in. No, in fact, we'll record the drums on the 202, sample them on the 202 so they sound super gritty. Then we'll put them in the 303 and arrange them. Let's do that next. Okay, so I got some drums lined up. I'm cheating a bit just to speed things up, but I've got a bunch of drums on the computer here. And they're ready to I'll just feed in a sort of kit that I just put together, and I'll sample that all into the 202, and then we can sort of mess around on it until it sounds nice on the 202 and chuck it into the 303. So I will record those in hi-fi. Record 1, record. So you mess around with the pitch as well until you get them sounding nice. Pretty tough. That'll do, man. That'll do. And then record those into the 303. So let's go bank C, record external source 1. Cool. So we got our drums in the 303, if it ever records. And now we can start to chop them up in the 303. So the best way I find to do that is to, I'll isolate each sound. So I'll resample this pad into the next pad, basically. Let's take that. Yeah, so we resample each sound into its own individual pad, and then I'll have a kit on there. So I'll do that now. It takes a little while, so I'll show you an example. So resample, sort of level out, do a bit loud. Still a bit loud. Come on. There you go. So record into 2. Sweet, and then tidy it up. So come on, using a bigger memory card, 64 meg. It takes an age. So then we just trim the start points. Where are we? Okay, gone a bit too far there, I think. So let's go back. Sounds good to me. So there we go. So we've resampled that drum into there. Set it up however you want it, gate or one shot or whatever. I'll do the same for all the other drums until we've got a kit. So I'll do that now. So you haven't got a watch, and then yeah. So I've got the drums all individually sliced up. They took an absolute age. Don't get a 64 megabyte card. 32 is more than enough, and it's twice as fast. So yeah. So I got some drums. So. You know, I haven't laboured over putting these drums together. I just grabbed the first sort of ones that sounded okay. So I'll build up a resample loop in the 303. We'll do that by recording one layer at a time. So we'll resample, for example, I don't know, let's do like a sort of pace setting hat. So we'll resample a loop that's like a, you know, that's established that sort of tempo. Then I'll resample over the top of that with some snares, say, so. You know, and then I'll build again and again and again until we've got, and put some kicks on there, something like that. But I'll build that up until I've got a loop that's cool. At the moment I'm using the C bank for the drums, and I'll build a loop into the D bank using the resample. Once you've got your, you just need to make it loop, so you can use the mark button for that. So that's a loop, so now we can record over some snares. And all the while you're doing this, once you make your loops, so I record in, you know, like a rough until I get the right loop in there, and then when you go back to your resample pad, you can just use the mark points to turn that into a neat loop. So just remember where the good bit starts, and then. Be a 4-bar loop, goes round and round. One of the things that sucks about the 202 is once you've recorded something in, you can't adjust the level of it. So some of these are much louder than others. I should probably go back in and tidy that up, but I can't be bothered. So I'm gonna, yeah, a minute ago I had the drums on here, put a final sim on the drums just to give them a bit more oomph, but it's not on the external source as well. I can hold that, can't I? Remain and on 4. So now it's on both the external source. Now it's on both the external source and the drums. The vinyl sim. So that should smooth out some of the level issues that we were having. just by compressing the bollocks out of the 202 basically. I've come up with a bit of a loop that I quite like. I ended up using a filter on here just to make some of the level issues go away between the sample. So now I can resample the whole thing in basically. So live playing the samples on the 202. So what I would do is, that's my drum loop. I won't put any effects on it for now. I've set this up, tested it with a vinyl sim on, so I know what it's going to sound like when we finally put that on. But for now I'll do a resample, record that into 5. There's your loop, your drums, and when the second loop comes around I'll start playing some stuff in. Press the external source button first. So when it comes round, so I messed around with that, got the loop that we recorded in, yeah, I've looped it up. I don't know if it loops around nicely yet or not, but the start place is in the right place. The start point is in the right place. So now I can whack the vinyl sim on there and yeah, refine the looping point basically. So I recorded some other stuff over the top, and now I'm just going to find the looping point. So when it gets to the bit where I want it to start, I hit the mark. When it gets to the bit where I want it to end, I hit the mark. Forgot to press. So that's the basic gist. So now we got the intro sample, and the first loop, and the second loop, and now we can build them up into the sort of, you know, the structure of the beat. You can do more complicated stuff, but that's the sort of the basics of it. So I did all that. It's in one, now it's in the whole song's in one pad basically. You can apply the vinyl sim. much it. I might tinker around, try and put a bass line on there or something, but for the sake of this video, 202, 303, just sort of showing you the sort of things you can do in the box, bouncing back and forth between the two. When you introduce the 404 as well, you get so many more options for layering things up, and it's much quicker. But just to show you really that you can work just in the boxes, the 303 on its own works really well, 202 on its own not so much really, so use the two together. I mean, it came out okay. I kind of messed up with the levels on the second sort of loop, but just for an example of showing you how to put something together, I think it's fine. And yeah, let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see. Nice one.